This is WSUR, and I am Crazy G. You're locked into the G spot for the second hour, and we're just rocking out here at WSUR, playing some new stuff and some old stuff. That, ladies and gentlemen, new from Bobaflex. That's a song called Bad Man, and that's off their release, Charlatan's Web. I love the name of that album. Before the show opener, we had Motley Crue, Saints of Los Angeles, and kicking it all off from Can to Can Sound City. We're waiting on Marty McCoy to give us a call here. Well, guess what? We have a caller on the phone, and we're going to check that out right now, see who we have. So let's go to the phone. This is Crazy G. Is this Marty?
Yes, it is.
Oh, man, perfect timing. I actually played Bad Man off of your most recent release, Charlatan's Web. You know, what's happening? Welcome to the G-Spot. How are things?
Things are going great. I've been editing the video for the new single for about 300 hours straight. I'm a little crazy. Other than that, things are awesome.
That's outstanding. And thanks for calling in and taking the time to hit us up here on the G-Spot. I got to be honest with you guys have been doing this for a while now. For those who've not heard of the band, can you share how Bobaflex came to be in existence?
We started playing, I was in college years ago, and my sister and brother were in college, and my dad was like, I don't think you're going to do what they did in college, so just come home and do that rock and roll thing. And I was like, cool. My brother was like, absolutely, let's go do that. And kind of started like that. We decided, at a very young age, that we were going to treat it like a job, like we were crazy in the Olympics and practice every day and write songs every day and just rock. And eventually we would get somewhere. And I think we were right. We're getting there.
Most definitely, and I'm glad he pulled you out of school and said you guys are going to do rock.
Oh, it's such a smart move. He knew I was doing okay in college, but he's like, you're on the teeter of just frolicking out and being crazy.
Well, I think we all might have been at that point one time or another in our life.
Yeah, he was just like, I don't want to spend any more money. It's a good idea. It's not going to work.
Your most recent project and sixth album, Charlatan's Web, it's outstanding, man.
Thank you.
Can you tell us how the idea for this CD came about?
This CD was actually, I'm sorry, I'm using the bathroom. Oh, God, it's so rude. But this CD, the last record was really rough to make, and we were coming out of a lawsuit with the record label, or not a lawsuit, but, the record label went bankrupt, and we were in court trying to get our rights back. It was a really scary time. This album was a lot of fun, and the stress wasn't so bad, and the budget wasn't so small, and it was just we just had a great time with each other, and just everybody wrote and didn't even care, if it sounded like, it should sound like this, or, this is not metal, or this is not, didn't care. Just cool, man. My brother wrote School for Young Ladies, and, I gotta admit, I was like, are you crazy? I thought we're on our own record label. Sean's been in the band for, 13 years. If he wants to write a song called School for Young Ladies, then he can do whatever he wants. And that's kind of how we came with the record, with everybody's ideas, and it was a lot of fun.
It sounded like you guys had a lot of fun with this thing, and one track, Never Coming Back, is tremendous. I played that at the bottom of the hour. What is the story behind that song?
My lady and I were into it. I was on the road, and she was like, I can't do this anymore, make me crazy kind of thing, which happens a lot. And so I was just I was sitting in a parking lot at 7 in the morning at a rest area and just started writing that song. It was like, I can't do this anymore, and blah, blah, blah. So I thought, man, think you know me. You know that I will just go poof and keep touring. Why would you even bring this up? That's what it's about. I was like, well, if you're not going to be there, then I'm just going to travel, and that'll be the end of it. We won't see each other ever again.
You got to see your dreams through.
Absolutely. It's that much fun, too. It's everyone's like, it must be so hard. It's it's so amazing and so much fun, and we get to play shows for people. We should be arrested for it.
Well, no, don't do that.
We got arrested a couple times here, and it's been a rough month.
At least you're not like the Biebs. Don't go national.
Right on. Here's what I think. The movie Meet the Millers has ruined it for us. We get our little bus RV thing pulled over every 5 minutes now. They're thinking we're smuggling drugs across the country. Before that movie came out, we could have. They never messed with us or anything. They just waved, hi, like we were an old Papaw family riding down the highway. And now it's we've been searched probably 6 times. I spent time in jail on the border of Mexico and in Texas, and nightmare for weed, a little tiny bit of weed that wasn't even mine.
Just be careful, especially when you're, not in your homeland, because I'll tell you, you never know what they're going to do to you in other countries.
Yeah, it's not worth it. Alcohol is free. It's a magical thing. It all works.
Bad Man is another exceptional track. What was it like writing that song?
Actually, I wrote that one. I get to take credit for that one. It was just, I remember feeling like slightly embarrassed when I was telling, my brother was like, well, what do you got? And I was like, it's kind of got this Pink Floyd little thing in it. One of my favorite bands is like this Pink Floyd little thing in it, and it's kind of, my best Axl Rose. And he said, well, what's the chorus? And I felt like it was on the line of being cheesy. So I'm a bad man. Just when I played it for my lady, she was cracked up. Oh, you're real bad. About you, woman. But it's just like, that song was just like, it's time to stop, whining about things. And it's like, man, light fun. And what happened to the man? Where'd the man go? Hey, get on my face, I'll punch you in the face, and I'm going to chug this beer and take care of things because I'm a bad man. I felt like, a little more like I could, the song's on I'm a broke man, which would have been true a couple years ago. I'm a disheveled man. At this point in time, I'm like, I'm feeling pretty good. See what we did? Oh.
I listened to this whole CD the past few days, and I just sat down and I was like, wow, this is really a good, solid CD.
Love it. I like it. One of the best productions that we've had. We've been working with the same guy for years, and we just, at Sonic Lounge Studios, Joe Veers in Columbus, Ohio, amazing guy. He's been through our whole career with us when we, paid him in chains and all kind of stuff. He's just an amazing dude, and we really worked together and knocked it out. Like, to me, it's the best drum sound, best guitar sound. We went real minimal, too. There's not 50,000 guitars. There's no auto-tune on vocals. It's like, it's almost live. It is almost live.
I loved every song, and another stellar track is I'm Glad You're Dead.
That's the song I'm doing a video for with my buddy Keith Williams right now as we speak. I took a walk away from the computer monitor. He's working his little butt off right now. I'm looking over his shoulder, making sure he's not defying me.
What?
What? That's what we're working on for the video right now. We did a 4-day shoot from Glad You're Dead with Keith Williams and myself directing, and a bunch of great guys that came out and ran cameras, amazing people, Focus Peak Media and Cool World Photography, and we just had this 4-day video shoot, this massive undertaking, and we're like, we're going to shoot this. It's going to have this huge concept, and we're pulling it off. Like, I'm blown away. So we just like, okay, let's go do it, and it's coming together and looks really awesome. About 300 hours in of editing for a 2-minute, 58-second video. Whoa!
It's a pretty cool song, and I just wanted to ask, what was the concept behind that track?
Well, it's like everybody's felt that way about someone, but would never say it. I mean, I felt that way. Like, well, we're not going to really be upset too much if he doesn't call my house tomorrow. He's gone. Everyone has that one person or a couple people in their life where they would never say it because, it is a horrible thing to say. But, if a band says it in a satire kind of having a blast kind of way, you don't have to say it. You can just listen to the song. Yep, I know. It's like it connects with a lot of people. Like, we haven't officially gone to radio with it yet, and it's already doing its own thing pretty quick. You don't go to radio until February 11th, and it's already moving up the charts, and we haven't even sent it to anybody yet. We're like, it's got that connection with people. Like, everybody wants to say it, and it's like there's no beating around the bush what the song's about. It's not hidden in poetic lyrics of what the song is about.
It's very to the point. There are many that have probably said that.
I'm allowed to say it out loud. Everybody from little old ladies to God-fearing church folk, everyone's felt that way. You can't say it out loud. You definitely feel it.
It seems every track on this CD has something to offer a listener. Did you approach this CD any differently from the past ones?
No, I think we just got better at it. Our past CDs, we always wanted to say that, there's not a bad song on it, and we always tried. Every CD that we've ever done, we've tried to, make sure that every song on it was we felt really good about and felt like it was something special. And just over the years, I think we got, better at it. Our last CD had 16 tracks on it, and which was awesome. And it was, because we had been gone so long, we're like, boom, put it out for the fans, put a bunch of tracks on it. And we still have this joke where the new CD does feel a little short, but we were dying laughing. Like, we want to put so many songs on the record that when you get done listening to it, you're not wanting more. Like, that's a dumb concept. So let's leave it at, the best songs on there and leave them wanting more.
Are there any cool stories you could share that are associated with making Charlatan's Web?
Oh, the love letter to a booking agent is a great story. It's all true. that's the kind of concept of the record is the music industry and life itself, and you come across a lot of charlatans, and like I thought it was hilarious that we had to put the definition of charlatan up because everyone's like, well, what does that mean? Charlatan, the snake oil salesman, the fake. It's such an old-timey word.
I knew what it meant, and I was like, that's an outstanding name.
I thought so too. My brother came up with it. It was bouncing between Harlot's Web and a couple different names that we liked, and he was like Charlatan's Web. I'm like, oh my gosh, man! Boom, just play on words, Charlotte's Web. Kept it out sometimes too.
It probably smacked you right in the face too.
Yeah, I was like, amazing. And then every song tied into somebody that has tried to screw us over or ourselves doing something questionable that, like the song Rogue, that points the band out as charlatans. You know what I mean? Like, oh, him. Just little stories that pull together under that category of, times that you've been had, big or little things that you've done yourself that you don't feel good about. That's what the record's about.
That's totally cool. I love the fact, because I didn't put it together until you just mentioned it, and that's a really unique concept, and it works.
Well, it's I'm glad your dad has beat you over the head with the point, but it's a little deeper than saying, suck or F the police or something.
Right. No, I totally agree and understand. As I said, your sound is unique. It's fast and it's thundering. Where does the band draw its creativity from?
Oh, man, so many different, we've known each other, Jared and I, and Tommy. I've played guitar with Tommy since I was 11 years old. Yeah, we're from this tiny little town with one red light. It's famous for the Mothman prophecies. That's our hometown. And it's also where the Hatfields and McCoys and all that stuff. It's there's a lot of history in this little tiny town. And I can't believe when I look back at it that the people that I'm playing music with now live. I mean, I could hit Tommy's house with a rock from where I grew up. He lived literally across the tracks and in the backyard. And so we'd all played together since we were kids. And all the influences that Jared listens to crazy stuff. He's always bringing stuff to the bus. Hey, have you heard this? I'm like, no. He's like, where you been? And he's forever. I'm like, oh, and he's got he listens to all this crazy wild stuff. And Tommy and I were big, huge Tool and Pink Floyd fans. And I remember freaking out with Tommy and first time we smoked pot and listening to what everybody does, listening to Pink Floyd albums for hours and hours and hours. It's cool, man. And my brother, he's always been into Motley Crue, big explosions kind of thing, and Guns N' Roses, and I was I went one way, I went Metallica, he went Motley Crue. When we were kids, it was Metallica, and I remember he bought these crazy 80s albums just back when they had record stores. He would just go in and look at the cover and buy it. It's occasionally have some really cool stuff, but a lot of crap. Man, what are you into that for? You need to
Yeah, but I mean, if you look back on it now, it's was it really crap? You know what I'm saying?
Some of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, some of it was, but I mean, take, like you just said, Metallica and Motley Crue. This was my idea of it. I can remember when AC/DC first came out.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought these guys were punk. I really did. It just almost morphed into something different almost immediately. You don't even know when that transition took place for them. Right. You know what I mean? Because I was like, what's this garbage? When I first heard it. And then as they came out with more and more and defined their sound, I was like, wow, these guys are really good. There's no way they're punk, Well,
I remember listening to, when I discovered AC/DC, it was during the Who Made Who, the Stephen King with the rig with the Joker face on the front, Maximum Overdrive movie. First time I'd heard of AC/DC because I was young. I remember that movie terrifying me and just the coolest rock soundtrack ever. And then finding out about AC/DC and how everything they ever did was totally the awesomest rock on the planet.
Yeah, I was just stating that because of the fact what you said. A lot of it, you listen to it and you say, oh, what's that crap? That's exactly what I thought of AC/DC when I first heard them. And I'm like, these guys aren't going to go anywhere. And, before you know it, I'm getting into them and I'm like, wow, these guys are really good. Why did I say they sounded like crap?
I've seen it happen a lot where, I've heard songs, managers play me songs, what do you think of this? I'm like, look them in the face and go, it's great. And I don't understand it. And then, 20 minutes later, it's the biggest song in the world.
Yeah.
They're playing on a battleship. Their video's filmed on a battleship. And it's like, oh, great.
Is there anything you'd like to say to your fans?
Thanks for being the most awesome people in the world. We should have been gone a long time ago, and our fans were just amazing and kept us, when the record label went down, and nobody would touch us, booking agents, labels, no one, they're done, they're over, and we couldn't get our music back, and we were in a legal thing going on. We kept playing shows, and we were selling T-shirts to pay our attorneys. We didn't have any CDs to sell, so we were selling T-shirts to pay our attorneys, and the crowds kept getting bigger, and when it should have went away, the fans kept growing and growing, and telling people about us and supporting us in a time where it was like, I mean, you know the average thing. They're done. They're over. They're blackballed. Nobody touches them. Kept us afloat and took us, like, farther than I ever could have thought, you know what I mean? A record label and without squillions and squillions of dollars behind marketing and huge tours and stuff like that, our fans have built us to a level where that we're allowed to play music for a living, and I'm blown away. I can't, this video for Glad You're Dead and put it out on Facebook and had a bunch of fans show up for 3 days and do 12-hour days to be in the video, and I was just blown, like, it was a humbling experience. They were all happy all day. We fed them hot and ready pizzas.
That's so cool.
We get hot and ready pizzas from promoters. We throw a fit. What is this crap? And then when it was our turn, we bought hot and ready pizzas. It's a really great deal.
You've stood the test of time as far as I'm concerned. I don't know what it is, but you seem to be getting better with each CD.
That's the goal, I think. That's what we want to do, right?
Exactly. I totally agree with you. You've been doing this for a while. You've probably had more downs than ups, but I see Charlatan's Web as an up for you guys. And
thank you.
I don't like to, but can I assume more touring is in the plans for you guys? And what can we expect to see next from Bobaflex? Is there anything other than touring in the band's future?
We're getting ready to do a DVD. It's a live studio DVD where it's all live, but it's in the studio. I mean, it's straight up guitars. It's not acoustic. It's like a live concert, but like a live studio concert thing. I haven't seen a lot of, and I've done a lot of research, and no one really does that. So we're going to do that, and use no tracks, anything, totally naked. Do that, release that. Touring as hard as we can go. We're getting ready to once we release this video and go to radio, hopefully Glad You're Dead takes the world over by storm and the president's singing it. And I'm glad you're dead. It'll be great. I got my fingers crossed on that one. Every time I see a shooting star go by, I'm like, point at it. Something for you to fulfill for me. But, and we're writing, but really we want to get out and hit the road behind this single as hard as we can go. And we have everything set up now. Got a great agent, great manager, and it feels like everything's starting to line up the way it should. We just, doing our own business is like things that we should have known years ago, but we've figured out now and eradicated and are on the straight and narrow path.
Well, I'm pretty sure Charlatan's Web is pretty much nailed and set. There's not one track on this CD that I did not enjoy. Everyone is unique. They have their own individuality.
Each track is it's not written by someone different, kind of headed up by someone different. Like all 5 writers in the band, and someone, someone brings a riff to the table and has an idea. You help out, but you never cross the line with them. You're like, all right, what's your business? What do you think? Will you like this? Do you like this? Instead of, this is how it should go. So it was like, that's so much fun to write songs like that. And I like records that, a bunch of record labels told us the band's all over the place and we can't handle it, and you need to focus, and you need one lead singer, and you have these 3 lead singers, and it doesn't make any sense. And it's like, that's what's cool. I like getting a record that's all over the place. I hate getting a record that sounds the same. Every song sounds exactly the same. It's the same. You can, oh God, it's the same tone. He's going to sing it again. Can't stand that.
I think people get tired of that after a while.
Well, there's certain people that it'd be blasphemous to change the style. There's certain, you know what I mean? I feel opposite though. Like when I get an AC/DC record now, of course, when I hear AC/DC on the radio, I can tell that it's AC/DC immediately. But when I get one of their records, I'll feel different from song to song and groove to groove. And you know what I mean? Once I had that record, it's a whole different story. I remember listening to the Muse and thinking, they just sound like Radiohead. First thing I said about them, and I was so wrong. I should have been slapped. Someone should have just came out of nowhere.
But no, you're right in some aspects, in all the aspects. It's these artists, just because you hear it on the radio doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a variety of different songs that you're going to get into every one. That's what I liked about Charlatan's Web, because every song I got into. Every song. I've taken up a lot of your time, and I appreciate it. WSUR appreciates it. And, I want to thank you, Marty McCoy, guitarist, vocalist for Bobaflex. I wish you the best with this CD, Charlatan's Web. I wish you the best with the band, and I hope you guys get to the point you want to be at. I think you're pretty much there with this CD.
Tiny giraffe in a guitar-shaped pool.
Well, okay, then you want to go just a little farther then.
Playing with my name on the side. Everyone's like, who's in there? Justin Bieber? No.
This CD is going to do wonders for for you, for the...
So much. Well, call. You got my number now. Call me anytime.
All right, cool. Good luck. I wish you the best. And we're actually, if you don't mind, I was actually going to play I'm Glad You're Dead.
Outstanding. I would love for you to play that.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, Marty McCoy, guitar vocalist for the band Bobaflex. Thanks for hitting the G-spot, man.
The only place to hit.
Have a good one in peace.
Thanks, man. Later.
Later. That was Marty McCoy, guitarist, vocalist for the band Bobaflex. Awesome conversation. Again, I'd like to thank him, New England Concert Reviews, for setting this up. And right now, we're going to play, this is off their newest release, Charlatan's Web, I'm Glad You're Dead, Bobaflex, right here on WSUR.